Hello and welcome to the Kia World Extreme Games in Shanghai, China. Coming up, Skateboard Vert.
Hey, what's up? Richie Brusco here. We're in Shanghai, China for the Kia World Extreme Games. I got my buddy Fox with me. We're gonna do a GoPro Skate Vert course preview and do some doubles. Check it out. The judges are looking for a few things. Looking for you to mix it up, use the whole ramp. Say hi to Fox on the way down. Big air. Come across the whole ramp. Take all that speed straight up. Spinning's good. Side too. They love lip tricks. Here's another one. And then for fun. You ready, little man? 3, 2, 1. Yeah, Fox, that was sick.
The Skateboard Vert qualifier, held beneath the shadows of the Oriental Pearl Tower, was a pressure cooker for the 14 skaters who competed. Why? That's simple. There were only 6 available spots to join the 4 already pre-qualified skaters. The Vert qualifier was broken into 3 heats, and each skater had 4 runs at 30 seconds a pop to turn out his best run. In the early going in Heat 1, the key was to stay on the board. You can call it nerves, or whatever the case might have been, a round of skaters had their difficulty staying on their board for the full 30 seconds. Separating himself from the rest of the pack was Danny Mayer. On his 3rd run, he put in a solid performance and, to the judges' liking, scored a 75.33 to lead all scorers. Second to him was Mitchie Brusco, who pulled off a late 720 in his run, but leaving too many walls blank reflected in his 73.33 score. Italo Penarubia was on the heels of Brusco, scoring a 72.33 late in the heat. Would that be enough to qualify? We would soon find out. The action stepped up in Heat 2 as the score to beat at the time was Mayer's 75.33. Sure, the scores would improve, and it didn't take long as Paul-Luc Ronchetti locked in a complete run, and in doing so, received the highest mark at the time, and that was a 79 even. His technical tricks were impressive, and the judges took notice. The intensity of skating continued to pick up as Sam Beckett, with his big bag of tricks and great style, earned a 78.33. His use of the entire ramp, flow, and alley-oops were certainly fun to watch. The judges agreed. Still, after Heat 2, no skater had cracked into the 80s. That had to change in Heat 3. The action in Heat 3 would be a deciding factor in what 6 skaters would move on to the Vert final. Again, as in Heat 1, we had our fair share of falls. For Pontus Bjorn, he took some hard hits, proving why it's always important to wear pads on a vert ramp. His scores were not a reflection of his effort. He would not advance into the final. But out of the heat, we would have 3 skaters who would. With his great style, Moto Shibata feels right at home in Shanghai as he put in back-to-back great runs for an impressive score of 81. He's fun to watch and always seems to skate well in Shanghai. Marcelo Bastos was also impressive as he turned in one of the more technical performances of any skater. His consistent barrage of flip tricks racked up a 78.33. But the run of the day was turned in by Canadian Pierre-Luc Gagnon. The salty veteran, back healthy again, blew the doors off the field. His score of 84.33 secured him a spot in the final, leading all qualifiers. Here's a look at our qualifiers for the Kia World Extreme Games Vert Final. Pierre-Luc Gagnon with an 84.33 topped all skaters today. How about Moto Shibata with that great run towards the end, an 81, and Paul-Luc Ronchetti with a 79.
We'll have Run 1 action after the break here at the Kia World Extreme Games. Welcome back to the Kia World Extreme Games for the Skateboard Vert Final Run 1.
Danny Mayer getting ready to drop in on his first run. He gets 4 runs on the day. He wants to get a good one underneath his belt. He will start it off from the gigantic roll-in, and we are underway here in the 2015 Vert Final at the Kia World Extreme Games. And Neil, it should be a good one.
Look how much speed Danny gets off this roll-in. Amazing vert ramp that we have in China, and the Vert Finals is underway.
Neil, could you say this is a fast ramp with these conditions right now?
This ramp, you know what? The conditions could not be better for amazing skateboarding. This is going to be a great final, and Danny Mayer's got a solid run going and just fails the fakey 360 gate twist. Sam had some injuries last year. He's ready to go.
Sam Beckett getting ready to drop in on his first run of the day, and as Neil told you about earlier, he is a solid skateboarder, could really cause some havoc in the top 10.
Sam's had a great 2015. He's already got a big win under his belt. Huge kickflip mute. Sam's got an amazing run. That's an Indy 540 right there, already adding some big difficulty in his first run.
Sam using the entire ramp, and can you talk about the judges real quick if we could sneak it in?
Hey, it's all about difficulty. It's style, really hard tricks, using the whole ramp, and that's a kickflip Indy that just takes Sam Beckett out, unfortunately, on his first run.
Marcelo Bastos from Brazil getting ready to drop in. You see the scores, 72.67 from Beckett. Mayer with a 52.67.
Everyone has been talking about how good Marcelo's been skating in practice. This guy could be the wild card of the weekend right here.
Marcelo Bastos, who qualified yesterday, and here he is today in the Vert Final.
The kickflip Indy again. That's the same trick that got Sam Beckett last run.
Paul-Luc Ronchetti, he skated great in the qualifying.
Yeah, he looks so solid. You know, Paul has had some troubles with consistency in the past, but yesterday he was unstoppable. He looks solid every run. Look at that massive 540 straight off the roll-in first hit. Oh, there's a kickflip Indy. He wasn't going down like the last two guys, grabbing the nose on the 540. Paul-Luc Ronchetti looking strong and solid on his first run.
Neil already using the entire ramp, and that's what the judges like to see.
So a 30-second run equals about 11 tricks. So Paul-Luc's coming up on the end of his run right now. There's a heel flip Indy and a backside ollie without grabbing the board. Heel flip frontside air. That is a really solid start for Paul-Luc Ronchetti. I believe that fall is going to be right after time. That's going to be a solid score. This is some difficulty right here. There's the kickflip Indy. Hal's trying that after the last two guys fell on that trick. That's confidence right there. Last hard trick of his run, heel flip frontside air. That's a really solid start for Paul-Luc Ronchetti. This event has really put Moto Shibata on the skateboarding map. He used to come to this event when he was just a little Grom from Japan, and we've really seen him grow into a really top international vert skater at this event. Moto has such a good style. That is a textbook upside down 540 McTwist right there. Taking the foot off on the judo air. I love Moto because he's got a couple lip tricks in his run. Look at that, front foot impossible, wrapping the board around his front foot. Oh, and just coming off on the 540.
Moto Shibata goes down, but yet he still pulled off a pretty nice trick right there.
That is one of the coolest tricks.
5 skaters have gone. Now we get ready for Pierre-Luc Gagnon from Canada, now living in California.
Look at this start. I think he's got his foot set up for a really difficult trick. Straight kick flip, mute varial to fakie, straight into a switch heel flip 360. That is such difficulty straight out of the beginning of his run. Most people like to get a couple tricks in the bag before you try the really difficult stuff. It's a body varial 540 PLG's got a great run going right now.
And Pierre means all business. He knows that if you can get a great run to tuck it away now, you can only build on it later.
Oh, the nollie heel flip Indy 360 got away right at time. Switch, heel flip 360. PLG is the only guy in skateboarding history to do that trick.
He's 18 years old out of Colorado. Jono Schwan is really stoked to be here, traveling with his dad.
Check out Jono Schwan's run right now. Jono might have something to say about that leaderboard. Jono's another guy that everyone has been saying could be a wild card this weekend. There's the huge McTwist. Jono has a huge bag of tricks. He has 720s on lock. We'll probably see that at the end of his run. See if he's setting up for the 7 right there. There's a 720 landing with speed straight into a body varial 5. I told you Jono Schwan is stoked on run number 1.
Very smooth on his skateboard. Here we go, Neil.
Look, setting up backwards, fakie, 2 full rotations right here. 720, mute grab, perfect. That's normally a trick that's really hard to land with speed.
He's 41 years old out of Carlsbad, California. This is Annie McDonald, one of the most decorated action sports athletes there is.
This guy has veteran experience and still has a massive bag of tricks.
He was known early on as the juggler, and that's something you don't see too often is Dandy falling. Neil Hendricks, this guy can bring it.
Yeah, Ronnie's really established himself as one of the top riders in the world. One of 2 Brazilians in the final. Look at that first wall, massive 540 off the roll-in. Oh, that is a tail grab 540. He almost hung up. That's the 3rd 540 variation. This run is insane. He hung up again on the heel flip frontside air. He has almost gone down nearly every trick this run.
On the edge. No doubt about it. Oh, he falls at the very end.
Look at this. Here's a huge tail grab 540. Look, almost clipping the coping coming in. And here again, frontside 540 landed a little bit too low.
Here in Shanghai, China, this is none other than Jimmy Wilkins. And Neil, he's got to feel the pressure.
In 1 year, he's gone from the underdog to the favorite. Last year at this contest was his first big win, and now everyone expects him to win, and the kickflip melon gets away from him. Tough start for Jimmy Wilkins, the defending champ.
All eyes are on Shanghai right now here in the vert ramp. Here's a look at the leaderboard after 1 run. You've got Pierre-Luc Gagnon in the lead with an 84.67, Schwan in 2nd, and Paul-Luc Rongetti right now in 3rd.
Welcome back to the Kia World Extreme Games for the Skateboard Vert Final, Run 2.
Danny Mayer is our first skater to go here in the 2nd round. He fell at the end of his run. It was a good run, but he only came away with a 52.67. Neil, he's got to crank it up.
Lots of speed from the roll-in, starting with alley-oop air. Backside 540, here's where he gets into the tech flip tricks. Oh, there's a kickflip Indy, really slow flip that time. Might not have landed the way he wanted to. Indy 360 to fakie, now backwards. That's the gay twist that he fell on first wall. Looking a lot more solid 2nd run. Varial backside 360, barely holding on. He wants to hear that buzzer right now.
And there it is.
Couple couple really hard lip tricks at the end. Stalefish tail slide and then a backside lip slide revert. Danny Mayer is stoked on that run. He's kind of shaking his head because he knows a couple of the tricks were a little sketchy. But hey, that's better than falling off.
And Danny Mayer is now in that bronze medal position with a 79.67, and Sam throws this one away off the very first wall.
Sam's gonna start feeling the heat. That's 2 falls to start his first 2 runs off. He's gonna have the pressure on for run 3. It looked like he just missed the grab on this tail grab 540. See, just barely got a fingertip on there. This week, for some reason, he just seemed to have a fire lit under him. He's just actually dominated the practice sessions the last couple
Huge
days.
frontside air with a little tweak on the top of it.
And he gets so tech. Watch, there's the kickflip Indy, made it perfect his second run. Heel flip frontside air, looked like he just didn't have a solid grab. 2 flip tricks getting away from Marcelo Bastos' first 2 runs. Just looks like he didn't get a solid grab. His body positioning was just a little off.
He got a 79.
Yeah, and he had a fall right at the end of his run. Might have hurt his score just a little bit. His fall was right at the buzzer, but the judges still see that. He's gonna want to improve and pop out after a full 30 seconds this run number 2.
Getting some great height, Neil, off his tricks off the top of the coping.
Yeah, he is so powerful. There's a nose bone Indy air right in the corner, using the whole ramp. Love the extension on the judo air right there.
And Neil, as we talk about air, it starts to pick up with the wind. Is there a factor there with skateboarding on this
Oh,
pipe?
that was a huge Narjar, 540 to tail. That's one of the hardest tricks we've seen all day. I don't think the wind is affecting these guys yet. If it picks up a little bit more, it might, but that is a solid 30 seconds. Paul-Luc Ronchetti is stoked right now.
Great run. You can see it in his face. He is relieved that he tucked that one away, and Neil, fantastic trick after trick. Moto Shibata is now getting ready, and here we go, Ronchetti with an 82.67. So he is in second place.
Moto Shibata, our only skater from Japan in the vert finals today. This kid has really grown up, developed some power in the last couple years. Skated great in the prelim round yesterday. Look at that front foot impossible. Wrapping the board around his front foot. Amazing run right now by Moto.
Getting technical too, Neil.
See if he can hold on. There's fakie 540 to fakie. That is a 540 the hard way. Super solid. Varial 540, squats it out just a little bit. That's gonna be a huge score for the skater from Japan, Moto Shibata.
From start to finish, Moto Shibata delivers. Outstanding run, and these replays indicate exactly what he did. We get set for none other than Pierre-Luc Gagnon, 34 years old. Right now, Pierre-Luc is our current leader with an 84.67.
PLG is gonna really try and add some difficulty now that he's got the lead by a couple points.
Pierre-Luc is off to a great start.
I can't believe how difficult PLG's first 2 walls are. That is just, you know, get the difficult stuff right out of the way. Body varial 540. See if PLG takes it to the lip again. There's the grapefruit grind. That is such a cool looking lip trick.
Pierre just makes everything look easy.
Nollie heel Indy 360. That is gonna bump his score up. He is now gonna be leading by a mile.
And he knows it. That was a fantastic run. Take a look at this, Neil.
This is what PLG fell on his first run. Second run, perfect. Nollie heel flip, Indy 360. That is one of PLG's trademarks.
PLG delivers a huge smile, brings us to Jono Schwan, currently in third place, the young 18-year-old out of Colorado.
Jono's still in a podium position. He's gonna wanna step it up. Up in the amplitude, alley-oop, heel flip Indy, straight off the roll-in into a massive 540. He's had difficult tricks every wall so far.
And he's a tall skater, too. He's not a compact guy. He's bringing it with a
720. That time he grabbed the nose, adding the difficulty. No one's doing nose grab 720s. Indy 540, bangers, wall after wall. Another 720. He did 2 720s in his run, but the Burial 540 gets away from him right at time. 2 720s in one 30-second run. Amazing skating, John O'Shawn.
He brought it all together. Even though he falls at the end, he tucked in a lot of tricks.
And that's nose grab. That you're usually so light-footed when you grab the nose. There's the mute grab. That's the second 720. That's insane.
Andy McDonald fell on his first run just about at the first wall. Let's see if that happens again. Kind of doubt it.
Uncharacteristic fall by Andy Mack on his first run. He's currently in 10th place, last of the finalists. And Mr. Consistency, that's an unfamiliar position for Andy.
That's right. Andy is a very talented skateboarder. Normally knows exactly how to get on the podium.
Look at that.
Nailed that one.
720 by Andy Mack. Still going strong at 41 years old. This guy has been skating top vert contests for over 20 years. Lean rodeo and nollie heel flip Indy right at time. Super solid run. Andrek gets away, but that was after time. Solid run by Andy McDonald.
So he bounces back. Will it be good enough to vault him up in the top 3? We'll find out. Ronnie Gomes gets ready to go in, as just as we say that, McDonald goes up to 3rd place with an 83.67.
Ronnie Gomes had one of the most exciting first runs. He barely held on, didn't quite make the whole 30 seconds, but he's got a strong one going in run number 2.
Neil, you nailed it when you said that any of these skaters can win this contest, because Andy just went from 10th to 3rd.
Yeah, and look at Ronnie. There's the frontside 540 that he fell on first run, made it this time, just finishing up. The heel flip Indy didn't flip, so he punched his board in the air to make it flip. I've never seen anyone do that in my life. Heel flip frontside air, did this one really smooth. Frontside 540, he had trouble with that on the first run. Landed a little bit low, but was still able to hang on.
We get set now for Jimmy Wilkins. You can see it in his face that he might be feeling a little bit of pressure as he gets ready to drop in.
This guy undoubtedly has the best style in vert skateboarding right now. So buttery smooth. Everything he does is just so fluid. He's basically everyone's favorite skater at the moment. Look at that. That's a frontside ollie, face high. That is impossible. Alley-oop tail grab 540. 540 without grabbing, sliding it around. This is an amazing run by Jimmy Wilkins right now. Kickflip lean melon. This could be a challenge to PLG right here. Frontside less twist, and that is time. Jimmy Wilkins just made an amazing 30-second run. That fall was after time. That is gonna be in the 80s without a doubt.
Here we go with Jimmy Wilkins as he totally nails his second run.
Indy 540. Jimmy did a few different 540 variations. Check this out. Not grabbing his board. That's an ollie 540. That's a video trick.
Taking a look at the leaderboard right now, Jimmy Wilkins goes all the way to 3rd place with an 84.67. That knocks Andy down a notch in 4th place. Pierre-Luc is still the leader.
Welcome back to the Kia World Extreme Games for the Skateboard Vert Final Run 3.
We go back to the top of the heap here to get ready for run number 3. This is Danny Mayer. He had a sketchy run in his second one, but overall it was a good run for him as he got a 79.67. things are heating up right now.
It's really heating up. Danny made his last run, but he sketched out on a couple tricks. He's really going to want to clean it up this time around. He can bump that score up into the 80s.
Taking a look at our storyline, as we talked about at the top today, it's anyone's field. It's anyone that can win this contest today. Sam Beckett is our next skater to go in to the vert ramp. This will be his third run. He's fallen a couple times. His best score so far is a 72.67. It's a great shot out of the Oriental Pearl Tower as they drop into this excellent ramp in this perfect venue for skateboarding.
Tail grab 540 straight down the roll in. He fell on that his second run, made it clean this time. Oh, looked like he was gonna hang up and clip the top on the Indy 540. Luckily, he hit the eject button just in time, so he didn't take the huge slam. Tough start to the finals for Sam Beckett.
Marcelo Bastos is our next skater getting ready to drop in for his third run of the day.
He was just blowing my mind in practice all week. I think Marcelo's gonna make it happen either his third or fourth run.
He qualified based on his great performance last year here in Shanghai. Starts it off with a huge front side air.
Look at that melon grab 540. Now's when he's gonna start flipping his board. There's the heel flip frontside air that gave him trouble before. Kickflip Indy looking really solid for Marcelo.
This is far different than his first two runs, Neil. He's got it going.
Nollie heel flip frontside air. Super tech by Marcelo. Tail grab 540. This is by far the best run he's had all day. A little sketchy right there. Frontside gate twist and last trick. He didn't flip the board. That was supposed to be a nollie heel flip Indy 360. The board didn't flip. And Marcelo's just doing a little demo for us after time right there.
So the fall will not count, and Marcelo Bastos will shake up the leaderboard as he is currently in 10th place. That will not be the same after the judges score this run because it was special. Paul-Luc Ronchetti, he will drop into his third run. Great score of his last run was an 82.67. He's right in the middle of the pack. And there we go. Marcelo moves up to 8th place right now with that 81.
Paul-Luc Ronchetti's got bumped down by a few riders in the last round. He was looking like he was fighting for a podium for a bit. Now he's gonna try and fight to get back on the podium. Kickflip varial, Indy. There's a varial 540 getting away. You could tell as soon as he took off, it didn't look like his body position was right for the 540-degree spin. There's 8 guys in the 80s right now. I thought that Moto's run was a threat for the podium earlier, and he got bumped all the way down to 7th. He's really gonna have to step it up, but he's got a, I've seen Moto in practice. He's got a couple more tricks he can add. That's one right there. Kickflip mute air.
You've judged plenty of contests. Do the judges feel pressure too?
Oh yeah, that's one of the hardest jobs in skateboarding. Oh, going for the backside sugarcane. Moto was trying to add the difficulty right there. That's what he's got to do to get that podium spot back. Unfortunately, the sugarcane didn't work out for him that time. I love that front foot impossible. I haven't seen him fall on that trick all week, any practice, any contest. I might have just jinxed him for the next run.
Don't say that.
Watch this first trick. He puts his foot in kickflip position right there. Kickflip varial mute to fakie. That was a tray flip mute to fakie. Even added a little bit more difficulty right there. Kickflip mute to fakie. Pierre knows what he's got to do to get some space between him and Jono and Jimmy Wilkins, and he's got to make trick after trick after trick, and that's what he's doing right now.
Lots of flip tricks. This is without a doubt a very technical run.
This run is insane. We'll see if he takes it to the lip right now. Oh, the grapefruit grind didn't lock in. That's gonna hurt him right there. I don't think this score is gonna be an 87 like he had the second run. Kind of got a little sketchy.
He was off to a great start as he came away with a number of flip tricks, including this one.
Tray flip mute to fakie. That is impossible.
John O'Schwan currently in 2nd place with an 87, 18 out of Colorado. Pierre-Luc Gagnon is now at an 89.67, so Schwann does not know that because he drops in right when the score was posted.
Jono knows that he can come close to PLG, and he knows that he can add a couple tricks to his run. What's he setting up for? Nose grab 720, landing with speed.
He is attacking this vert ramp.
It's amazing that he can use the 720 to set up into hard flip tricks. Heel flip Indy to fakie. Oh, he was going for another 720 right there. Wasn't able to do it. Missing that trick is really gonna hurt him. That's the buzzer, and that's a solid run. Watch this nose grab. Super solid.
Staying on his board, though, the entire time, and that's got to count with the judges. Andy McDonald now is looking at a challenge ahead of him.
Little hang loose from Andy Mack as he rolls in, and Andy loves coming to China. He's all about experiencing the culture. He's such a tourist when he comes down here, but when it's time for business, this guy is super professional when it comes to the skate contest. Perfect 720, bringing around 2 full rotations and a frontside blunt. That is a super difficult lip trick on the coping.
Andy McDonald putting it all together in his third run. There's that rodeo.
Oh, just under-rotated and somehow held on. Wow, how did he make that 30-second run?
Oh.
There's a few times he should have gone down right there.
So the fall will not count. It was at the end of his run, and he is an amazing professional skateboarder. Been doing it for quite some time.
This is the 720. Look at his front foot all the way up on the nose. Looked like he was gonna under-rotate this lean rodeo. Just caught that sticker right on the vert. I have no idea how he was able to bring that one around.
We get set for Ronnie Gomes, who has a big bag of tricks, and you get excited every time he drops in.
Yeah, that's because he's almost had near-death experiences every one of his runs today, almost hanging up on the coping, his board not flipping. If he puts this thing together clean, he's really going to bump up the leaderboard. Look at that tail grab 540 taken to the skies.
Wind picking up a little bit here in Shanghai, China, but not affecting Ronnie at all on that vert ramp.
By far the smoothest run that Ronnie's had. He's got spin tricks, he's got lip tricks. Oh, heel flip Indy gets away from him. He is so bummed on that one.
Jimmy Wilkins getting ready to drop in on the third run of the day for him. And boy, he is really coming on strong right now.
Jimmy's gonna have to add a couple hard tricks to bump up the leaderboard. This is an unfamiliar position for him for the last year or so. If Jimmy makes his run, he's close to the top in first or second. He's not used to being down in fourth. He's gone from the underdog to the favorite. Look at that frontside ollie. That is such amazing technique. Ollie 540, that is just incredible to do in your contest run. What's Jimmy gonna add now? Kickflip melon 360. I've not even seen him try that in practice. He knew that he had to add the hard tricks. Didn't happen. He's gonna have one more shot.
Totally went for it. Jimmy Wilkins, here we go, our #1 qualifier because of last year's ranking of #1 here in Shanghai.
Look at this, ollie 540. He's the only one in vert skateboarding doing that trick like that in the vert contest.
Here's our current leaderboard after 3 runs. Pierre-Luc Gagnon with an 89.67. Jono Schwann still in second place with an 88.67. But how about Andy McDonald? He's moved into third place.
Welcome back to the Kia World Extreme Games for the Skateboard Vert Final Run 4.
This is where the difference is made, right now in the final run.
Danny's got to let it all hang out right now. Alley-oop, backside air to start the run off. Now he's going to get into the tech flip tricks. There's the kickflip Indy, looking pretty smooth.
Getting us off to a great start.
I love that varial 360 backside air. Judges are going to like that one. I think he's going to bump into the 80s.
What is does Sam have to do? Because he's fallen 3 straight times.
Yeah, Sam is normally a lot more consistent than this. He's had a really tough day, not usually in a 10th position coming into his last run. He's got to make a full 30 seconds right here.
Sam Beckett staying on his board right now and performing pretty darn good out there. The flip trick, and he holds on.
Kickflip backside air. Look at that alley-oop frontside air. His board washed out onto the deck. Tough fall.
Marcelo Bastos getting ready to drop in. He has an 81. He's currently in the 9th spot.
He has just been the first guy on the ramp, the last guy off the ramp every day this week.
He fell in his first 2 runs, put together a solid 3rd run, and here he goes with his 4th and final run. Marcelo Bastos from Brazil.
Solid start, huge heel flip Indy, flipping the board frontside right there.
This
Super
looks sweet.
tech, every wall.
I love the height he's getting on his tricks too. Reminds me of somebody sitting next to me. That's Neil Hendricks.
I wish I could do this run. Kickflip lean melon, somehow he got the board under him. Tail grab 540. He's only got 5 seconds left to stay on his board. Super good run by Marcelo Bastos.
He's got to feel great about this. Anything after the buzzer does not count.
He's
Marcelo
still going.
Bastos, how about that? Putting it all together.
Could be a threat for the podium. How did he get this under his feet? Kickflip lean melon. That is when you have the attitude of like, I'm just gonna make it no matter where my board ends up.
That's a great point, Neil.
Paul's got a Varial 540 in his bag also. That's what he fell on his last run. I think he's gonna try and put the Varial 540 and the Narjar in this run. Nose grab 540. I didn't know if he was gonna try and hit the tail that time. See what he's setting up for now. Look at that 360 flip to Indy. That is one of the most tech lip tricks you can do on the vert ramp. Heel flip Indy, just bringing it around. There's the Narjar, slaps the tail, perfect.
Oh my goodness, this could shake up the leaderboard for sure.
Wow, heel flip Indy, just slapping the tail right at time. PLR is gonna be stoked on that run.
Paul-Luc Ronchetti fell on that Varial 540 in his 3rd run. No falls in
Look
this
at that. Tray flip, Indy grab, and this, every time he does this trick, it gets me out of my seat.
Moto Shibata, he is with an 81.67 right now. A little bit lower than you thought he would come in at this.
Yeah, but I think Moto's still got a couple tricks that he can add. We saw him in practice doing the backside sugarcane, a really difficult lip trick. I think Moto's gonna go for the sugarcane this run.
Paul-Luc Ronchetti jumps up to 3rd spot, knocking Andy down to 4th. Shibata is on the ramp now.
Front foot impossible, love that trick right there. There's the backside sugarcane, gets away from him again. He made that trick nearly every time in practice, but couldn't make it happen when it counted.
Our current leader is the young man you're looking at, and that's Pierre-Luc Gagnon with an 89.67. He's only in the lead by 1 point.
Pierre cannot take it easy right now because he knows Jono, Jimmy Wilkins, all these guys still have a run to go after him. Look at that, he just did an impossible combination to start. Tray flip mute to fakie into a switch, heel flip 360. PLG has definitely upped his score if he can hold on to this 30-second run.
He's at an 89.67. Pierre-Luc Gagnon took the lead after his 2nd run.
There's the grapefruit grind. It locked in this time. See what he goes for to end this run. Crooked grind, and that is a super good run by PLG. That could improve his score right there. That was vert skating perfection. First trick, tray flip, mute to fakie. He lands with his feet set up straight into a heel. That's 2 of the hardest tricks of the whole day, back to back.
That is crazy. Such a technician on his board. Pierre-Luc Gagnon. And Pierre-Luc Gagnon with a 91.67. Jono Schwan in the ramp right now for his 4th and final run.
Jono rolled in backwards and did a 720 first hit. I've never even seen him do that in practice. No one rolls down the roll in backwards. He even got speed wobbles first run. Jono's letting it all hang out right now.
Jono Schwan, 18 years old, out of Colorado, blowing it up right now in the vert ramp.
Heel flip Indy to fake. He nose grab 720. This run is insane. Jono is putting it all on the table right now. That was going for the win right there. He was trying to kickflip 540. He took his best shot at PLG. We'll see where he comes up.
That was a great run all the way through. He is stoked. The crowd loving it.
That is so sketchy. Backside 540 right in the corner. Jono's skating has got so much better in the last couple years. This guy is now a legitimate threat on the vert circuit.
There's a lot of pride with Andy McDonald, and he would love to be on the podium.
And he's been on the podium every year at this event, so he's not going to go out without a fight.
Here we go with Andy Mack on his fourth and
kick
final
with
run.
540. He's really upping the difficulty on his last run. Kickflip Indy almost getting away from him right there.
He's chasing Ronchetti's score of an 86. Is this good enough for an 86?
Look at this, 720 right now. He's still got a few more walls to see if he can hang on. Body varial 540.
Oh, he's going to hang
seconds.
on. Andy Mack, no doubt about it, finishes off.
Lean rodeo, that could improve his score right there. Great run by Andy McDonald.
Andy McDonald finishing up his fourth and final run here in Shanghai, China. Wall-to-wall-to-wall tricks.
Look at that, kickflip melons 540. He saved the best for last, and that's the consistent, solid Andy McDonald that we're used to seeing. It took 4 runs for it to come out. Ronnie Gomes rolling into a massive 540. Tail grab 540 by Ronnie Gomes. Looking super solid, all different back-to-back 540 variations. Ronnie Gomes hasn't put a solid 30-second run together yet. He's gonna wanna make a smooth one right now. Oh, the heel flip Indy gets away from him again. Pressure is on right now. Jimmy Wilkins is gonna have to add a couple really hard tricks to his run to try and unseat PLG.
He's got to at least get to an 86 to get on the podium. And they'll discuss tiebreakers as well if there is one. But right now, here we go.
All of his tricks are just so buttery smooth. Look at that frontside ollie, face high without grabbing. Alley-oop tail grab 540. So far looking super solid. The ollie 540 gets around. He's got 5 more seconds. He's got to end it super strong. Kickflip melon 540 gets away, and Jimmy Wilkins is not going to repeat at the Kia World Extreme Games.
Here's a look at the final results. The gold goes to Canadian Pierre-Luc Gagnon with a score of 91.67. The silver to 18-year-old Jono Schwan. And on his fourth and final run, Paul-Luc Ronchetti earned himself an 86, good enough for the bronze.
Almost. I kind of fell, at the buzzer in the first run, and I think the third one was a little sketchy. Was super happy with the second and last run. It's awesome being out here in front of the Pearl Tower, and especially after being hurt last year and having like a really rough year. It's amazing to be back and get to compete and ended up winning. So I couldn't ask for a better weekend.
Check out KiaWorldExtremeGames.com for more information on the Kia World Extreme Games. For Neil Hendricks, Paul Higgins, and myself, Paula, goodbye, and see you next time for more action.